Welcome to Inside Design with Kandrak and Cole. This podcast is a conversation between two business partners, Joanne Kandrak and Kelly Cole. Join us for a lively conversation about all things interior design, from current projects, trade show experiences, worldwide travel, what's in, what's out, and all the challenges and wins they've had running their successful design business. Whether you're a seasoned interior designer, new to the industry, or a creative enthusiast, you will walk away with insightful information, newfound inspiration, and a smile on your face after listening to these two. And here they are, Joanne and Kelly.
Hey everybody, welcome to Inside Design with Kandrak and Cole. I'm Joanne Kandrak, my partner here, Kelly Cole. And today we're talking about the 4 fascinating projects that we're working on right now. We generally have about 10 to 12 projects that we're working on, all in different phases.
And sometimes more.
And they keep us hopping, as well as Lisa and Lynn in our office. We are, running like maniacs all the time. So we do a mix of residential and commercial projects. And so we thought that we would share some of those with you. They keep us resourceful, creative, and inspired. So our days are always different.
Yes,
we're either going, we're either going on consultations, we're in the office specifying product, we're in the office meeting with vendors, we're recording a podcast, we're traveling to job sites, we're going to tile showrooms, we're going to art galleries.
We're traveling.
And then we attend a lot of industry events.
Yep.
So
makes me tired.
We've got a lot going on, but we work on some really great projects and we don't really talk about them so much. And so these are the ones that we're working on are really, really cool. So we're going to share those with you. But before we do that, we're going to have a word from our sponsor.
So this episode is sponsored appropriately by High Point Market. And you guys know by now, we hope we are great educators of the High Point Market. You know what a massive event this is, that it covers 13 city blocks and over 11.5 million square feet of showrooms, covering every product category that any designer needs. It truly is the epicenter of home furnishings. And it's really a show that you can't miss. Retailers and designers from all over the country and dozens of dozens of other countries, come to this event that's held twice a year, April and October. And registration is now open for the fall. This year, it is October 14th to the 18th. And we are, as you know, we are Insider Tour guides. The Insider Tour program is put on by High Point Market and Esteem Media, and they have recruited some of the top designers to help new folks who are new to High Point, or designers that have been in the business a long time but just either have never been to High Point or haven't been in quite some time and have just really kind of need somebody to help them navigate the madness. So their offerings are really great now. They have on Friday the 13th, they have a half-day tour from 11:30 to 6. And then the full-day tour is offered on Saturday the 14th from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. And that's the one that we are leading. We are allowed to have 15 attendees in our group. And so our tour fills up very quickly, thankfully. So if you would like for us to, it's a curated tour that we put together, lunch, we have a lot of fun. We take you to some of our personal favorite showrooms and really share a lot of our insider knowledge. So you can go to highpointmarket.org to register overall, and then look for the Insider Tour registration and hop on our team. There are some qualifications. You must be a member of the home furnishings industry who is eligible as a buyer, and you haven't attended High Point in the past 2 years. That's just for the Insider Tour. Yeah. So thank you, High Point Market. Yep.
It's great.
I wish to see you soon.
I wish I had that.
Oh my
years
gosh.
ago.
Yeah.
It saves you a lot of time or whatever. It's really, really great.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So let's dive in.
So this is a project we've been working on since October of 2021.
Yes.
When it all started. And this
From
is
paper.
Yes. This is a 10,000 square foot home. It sits on 2 lots and includes a in-law suite, which is kind of on the terrace level. So when it comes to new construction, there is a series of events that have to happen. And so we were hired to make every single selection in this house. So first off, and this is the very first thing we did, was we selected plumbing.
After architecture and plans are solidified and, and all that.
Yeah. So, so for plumbing, there were 13 bathrooms. So that took quite a bit of time. There's also 3 laundry rooms, front and back kitchens.
And the in-law kitchen.
And the in-law kitchen. And a dog wash that needed some plumbing as well. Mm-hmm. So that was the plumbing portion.
And an outdoor shower. The list goes on.
Yes.
But if you think about every faucet, every drain, every shower head, I was thinking as I was getting ready this morning, there is not a single thing in that house, from the metal roof to the brick to the hardwood floors to the doorknobs to the hinges that we didn't select.
Everything.
It's truly amazing if you think about it.
Yes. But it was easy for us. Now, the homeowner would have just glazed up
can you imagine?
Plumbing, where do you even be, where would she even know what brand to go to? And you go into a Ferguson showroom and what? So, so it feels good to be able to do that. And it's easy for us.
Well, and I will say the help that we got from, so the builder had his relationships and then we had our relationships. So it was kind of a mix. So for plumbing, we went to the Ferguson showroom and dealt with his partner there, and she was fabulous. And she had all of the architectural plans and she had the list of what needed to happen. So we were just selecting, the finishes and the style and everything that we liked. But the cabinet, when we went to Bell Cabinetry in Atlanta and to pick out all the hardware and the cabinetry, what would we have done without Melissa?
Well, yeah. And she was just making changes on her little iPad. The great thing is when you work with people that do what they do, then everything works out great because
you do you, we do us, we come together.
We tell you and you do that really quickly. For us to try to change, everybody has their place. And if everybody does their job, you're going to have a fantastic end result.
Yes.
So I felt like in this case, yes, because Bell Cabinetry was wonderful. And then all of the tile and countertops through our good friends at ProSource, Marietta. That was 2 full days at the showroom laying everything out. Keep taking everything into consideration with the backsplash. And then then you have to pick every single grout because you don't want the tile installer to go there and go, okay, well, where's the grout? The details are unbelievable.
Yes. When you think about here's a little example. So I convinced my parents who live in Long Island, New York, to redo their primary bathroom before they get to an age where they can't get upstairs to their other bathrooms. And so my mom is just now understanding when it's a custom bathroom, you pick everything. So and I'm trying to explain, okay, so for the tile, Mom, we're going to pick a floor tile. We're going to pick a shower wall tile. We're going to pick a shower floor tile. We're going to pick a tile for inside the niche. And then we're going to tie that
glaze over?
Glazed. Immediately. And so I was telling her, so she found this great girl. They live in Quogue, New York. And she found this great girl at a local showroom that her contractor recommended. And I said, she's like, well, could you pick everything? I'm like, I absolutely can. But I'm telling you, it is when a contractor has a great relationship with the showroom and that showroom person is a stylist or a designer in and of herself, then, I really don't need to be in the middle in this particular, I'm too far away. And so I'm sure I'll be there to approve everything. But
the relationships
are important. And that's why I just bring this up because we really partnered with, we were the drivers in the selections and choosing what the very, very specifics from a design perspective, but we really leaned hard on the showroom people.
Well, and the homeowner as well was not versed at all in any type of interior design.
No, and she doesn't even know the words. It's very
She needed a lot of inspiration photos because
constant visuals.
Wainscoting, didn't really know what that was, and
Mhm.
certain things like that. So I feel like we have been such a huge resource for this project. It's been really fun working on it.
Mhm.
We completed all the lighting. We're done with our selections now,
Mhm.
and so we've had so many meetings, and actually, I think the house will be complete by year end.
Yes.
Yeah. We've been posting a few things on the stories, and as it gets closer, the tile's been installed. And so there's a lot more imagery to see. But prior to that, it's just, drywall and beams and, nothing very exciting to see.
I feel like we need to have another show when all of these particular projects that we're talking about are completely over, and we can talk about our takeaways and what we learned.
Yeah.
Like, for example, because it's never ending, right? I mean, it's been 18 years and every day we're still learning. And for example, we just had this conversation at our last site visit meeting, and just a quick little example. Our client is completely adverse to seams in countertops. Okay. So for her kitchen, she does not want a seam on her island. So we're going to use a jumbo slab of quartz, and we are having to reselect the beautiful quartz that we originally selected because it doesn't come in a jumbo size. So kind of a bummer, but we're going to take the star of the show, quartz, and we're going to run it all along the perimeter, and then we'll do a different one on the island. But it was an interesting conversation because you have to really think about, okay, so in your island, are you going to use the cabinetry that the big countertop is sitting on? Is it just a box, or is it functional cabinetry? And therefore sizes change. You spend hardware on that cabinetry. You spend, versus paneling, versus it just being a box. And, cabinetry, and anytime you build anything with drawers or doors, it's expensive. So
and changes are expensive.
expensive.
The seam situation was something we didn't know.
Right.
So we were trying to figure out ways and to either shorten the island a little bit, so that the slab would fit. So anyway, there were a lot of conversations. So it isn't just like, oh, you make the selections and you're done. There's always things to be done afterwards. So
yes.
That's kind of
that was
where,
a great. That was a great.
Yeah.
But it was nice to, unless you've built a custom home, I don't think that people really realize the incredible amount of decisions that are to be made. For example, we met with the millwork guy, who's the most talented guy. Joey is on site building the most amazing things. But when you're talking about, for example, the crown molding and the baseboards, okay, well, it's one thing to decide, I want a 6-inch, 10-inch, 12-inch.
Profile.
But what's the profile? What exactly does that look like? What kind of wood is it going to be made out of? Are you staining it? Are you painting it?
Yeah.
And that's where, and the world is your oyster. So,
and the thing is too, you don't always know about all kinds of things. So different wood species. So for example, this client doesn't really like knots, doesn't really like a lot of movement in wood.
Yep.
So we're having to go with maple for most of it because it's a little cleaner and whatever. But these are the kinds of things that you have to know in order to guide your clients. So, in every project you work on, you learn from. So this has been a really great one.
Yes, we're really excited. So we're at the point where, let's see, everything on our end has been selected, and we're waiting for air conditioning to go in. Sheetrock is all in. Trim work is all in. We're waiting for air conditioning so that then the floors can come in and cure, and the paint can be done. And then, is there anything?
Cabinetry will be
next. That'll be really exciting. And then templating for countertops will start. Yeah. So I think we're aiming to be complete
by the end of the year.
Maybe. Yeah. So it'll be a solid
2.5
years by the time it's done. Yeah. Wow.
Okay. So onto the commercial stuff, which is really fun too. This is another project that's been long in the making. This is a beautiful
City of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Hi. Could you please approve the permit so we could start?
Yeah. It's only been a few months. But a beautiful community in Buckhead of Atlanta that had 2 spaces that were amenities, but were not really used to their full potential.
Yes.
And one of them was a theater. So remember the days of the theater seating, the projector, that kind of thing. So people really were not going in there to watch a movie or something. So we and it was just there was a big countertop and there was space for a fridge and all that. So we decided to take it from a theater room to a multi-television space with some games.
Yes.
Multi screens, a big oversized modular sofa.
Russ is showing it on.
Yeah.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. So we ended up, in the end, they didn't want all the chairs that you're seeing on facing the multi-screens. We're doing a massive modular sofa, but the layout and the gist is still the same. But all the finishes were really fun to work with. We added a lot of tambour. We added wood on the ceiling. Everything has to be super contract viable because these spaces get beat up like you wouldn't believe. But then the top portion, Russ is showing you right now, is our game area. So we did a super funky ping pong table from 4 hands and a foosball, and added a game table that can flip. One side is dining, can be dining. The other side is poker, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I think it'll get used. It will get used, which is the whole point of it, because especially in Atlanta, there are so many beautiful apartment communities and amenities. There's a lot of competition.
Yes.
The dog washes.
They all have everything.
They all have everything.
Bike repair center and, saunas. And I mean, the whole gamut of, and they really get used. I mean, we're on these properties week in and week out, and we see the residents and we see the way they're using the spaces, and it's amazing.
Cool.
Yeah. The other part of that job was,
which I think this is pretty fascinating, because I know when they came to us with this, we were like, wow, but it was really a great idea.
Yep.
So they had storage lockers that were actually right next to the theater, and some were bigger than others. And so,
like storage rooms, kind of, very. Just think,
like a 5x6 room, or
think if you went to the metal, a storage space, and you lifted up the
little garage door.
Garage door, and it was all metal and concrete. It was like was just like that,
metal and concrete, exposed, ceiling and everything. And so they said, people are not really storing stuff. Let's do something with the space. So we turned it into a co-working space, especially with, COVID. A lot of people are really working remote, but if they want to get out of their apartment and go somewhere. So this area has 3 separate kind of offices that are more private if you want to get in there. And then these two large custom, if you're looking at it, like Kelly said on YouTube, these beautiful waterfall laminate collaborative tables that you can sit at. They have a beautiful waterfall edge.
I like the back rooms. If you're looking at the rendering, you can see the 3 black doors, and those are private workspaces. So they have nice countertops and great lighting, USB plugins, and the whole 9 yards. So you can go in there and have a private Zoom meeting, or just go in and think and work by yourself. And then when you're done, come out and hang out in the lounge space. There's printers there. It's meant to be just a cool space to be social or just to work and get out of your apartment.
And so one of the cool ideas that we stole was from the Delta Sky Club. When you're sitting there, they have those, USB tables. They're just, like a laminate table with a marble top, but there's a USB right there. So you can't really see it in the rendering, but
you can basically charge and go in every one of these tables.
Yeah, and they're just kind of low and they're kind of cool. So, travel inspiration.
Yes. Yeah, but that is going to be so cool, and I cannot wait. We're hoping that we're waiting for everything has been submitted to the city of Atlanta, because there is a bunch of moving parts in terms of construction. So we're hoping that nothing much changes, because we have it all designed and it's so perfect. But hey, it might. We might have to make something smaller, bigger, move it at a different angle.
Yeah. The residential and commercial worlds are completely different.
Yeah, but we're working with great people, and we're excited for that one. Yeah.
Okay, this third project is a little bit on the sly. We can't really say too much, but we will be talking more about it. Yes. So we were approached by an out-of-town client to work on a team to create a one-of-a-kind experiential type of veterinary clinic.
Urgent care.
Yes.
For doggies
And
and kitty cats.
yes.
Everybody.
And so there's a branding team, there's the architectural team, there's the design team, which is us. And who else is working on it? Oh, there's the actual
and then
the vet.
the staff of from the medical side and the surgical hospital side. So it's just an amazing experience for us. Of course, we've not done a vet clinic before, but the founder of this new enterprise is a really, really, really clever guy, and he kind of handpicked his team based on the kind of the whole picture of I think for us, he was looking for our energy and our color and our out of the box thinking, and the scope of jobs that we've been on that this is new, but it's not anything that we can't handle. So I think he's been very savvy in putting the team together.
Yes. And he interviewed us. He asked us a lot of questions.
Yeah.
He interviewed quite a few people. So we were very honored to be selected. And I think it's going to be really fun to work.
We are waiting. They are running around Atlanta, he and his doctors, to find the right space. And then once they secure that real estate, then we will kind of hit the ground running. We've already kind of brainstormed on all the design concepts, but we haven't physically sat down and designed the space yet.
Stay tuned, because we might have him on the show, because it'd be really, really
awesome.
interesting. He can
It'll
tell you
awesome.
the whole story.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just finished up a really cool large home renovation with complete furnishings for a home here in Marietta, Georgia.
That's so fun.
So the couple that bought the home, they have 2 young kids, really loved the bones of the house, but all of the bathrooms were somewhat dated and needed to be updated. And so the homeowner was like, I want to just bang this out. I want to have this all done all at once, so we're not living through construction, the whole time. So we made the selections for these 5 bathrooms, and then we furnished
the
6,
the first floor plus the primary bedroom.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
but it was we also refinished did they refinish the hardwoods?
Nope.
They ended up not refinishing the hardwoods. But we painted the majority of the main rooms, and we replaced a lot of carpet. So in like the theater, a beautiful runner up the main stair. Yeah. They have 3 staircases all around, and put beautiful runners up those. And so we're it's a lot of logistics, because we're like, okay, we're organizing carpet, paint, renovation, wallpaper, and everything is like, okay, well, this has to happen first, but then this can happen, and then this can happen. So,
where there was maybe the lighting over the mirror, now we're doing sconces on the mirror. So just all those little things, if you're going to update it. You don't want to put what's already there.
Right.
So the primary bedroom, Kelly designed in some beautiful soft blues. We did a wallpaper on the back wall. Russ is showing it up on the screen. It's absolutely beautiful. Navy nightstands. It's a very, very large room.
It's so big.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, how do we fill this sucker? And it was awkward, because if you're looking at the rendering, we thought about pulling out that fireplace. It's just the way the fireplace is with the windows. Anyway, we just had to work with it, and we were doing enough construction that we didn't want to deal with that, but it was a little awkward. So I think we really filled the room nicely, and it's going to be gorgeous. We replaced all the tile all around every fireplace surround to make those a little bit more.
Yeah,
took out all the old granite.
They had granite. Yeah,
and put in some beautiful tile.
Just little things like that really just updated it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the family room, which was really kind of cool. It had a stone fireplace that, looks a little lodgy, but we were able to change it up so that it made it. Oh, it didn't look like lodgy.
Yeah.
The bookcases were painted in a beautiful, what's that green color? It's
pewter green.
Sherwin-Williams. Which is so pretty. And then the ginormous sectional.
You can't tell, but that sectional is...
I wrote it down here. It's 138 wide.
I was going to say it's about 12 feet wide So thank you, Vanguard. And thank you for shipping that within about 4 or 5 weeks. We were
Yes.
so thrilled.
Which is really amazing.
Yes.
But I love like the sofa table that's behind the sofa opens up. So it's 90 inches wide.
Yeah. It's a big sucker from
And then
Woodbridge.
And then it opens up to be a 42-inch table. So how great because right behind this room is the kitchen. So if you're having a holiday or a dinner party, you can open that up and have 6 extra seats.
Yeah.
So I love the function of that.
Yes. Yes. And then probably one of my favorite spaces is the office that you designed. And the dining room.
Yeah.
Dining room
is the living room
too. Oh, living room too. See, it goes on and on.
Yeah. They were.
They're all beautiful, but
Here's the latest.
Russ is showing the library or her office, and we went round and round. Paint the paneling, don't paint the paneling. We were like, oh, we could lacquer this, and we could make this like pink. We could do all kinds of stuff, but we decided to bring out the color and the fabrics and the artwork instead.
And one of the stars of the show, actually, one of the reasons that we go to High Point, we found a new rug vendor in High Point called Asia Minor. And so
in the Cisco building.
Yeah, the rug is absolutely beautiful. It's 100% natural dyed, hand knotted from Turkey. And the colors are really just perfect. It's just an amazing, even though it's got all that dark wood, it's still very feminine.
Well, and what actually came first was the art that you see came from Shane Gallery in Charlotte, North Carolina, one of our favorite art galleries. And the fabric, we kind of found those almost at the same time. And Joanne took pictures and brought them to the owner of Asia Minor.
I just texted him
and said, help. And I can't even believe it. I mean, he's got a good eye I've ever seen.
He's got a good eye.
He's got a great eye.
He did the work for me.
Yeah. I mean, and said, help me. This is what I'm looking for. And he was like, well, how about this or this? And she was like, done.
Yep.
Yeah. Take my money.
Yes. And then, in the bay window, we did a condo sofa.
Mm-hmm. Is that what they call it?
Norwalk calls it the condo sofa.
Perfect.
And
a little bit bigger than a settee.
Smaller than a sofa.
Yeah.
And it's just, at the end of a long day, she can go sit and hang out there.
Yeah. And she sits all day. She can take her laptop over there and just
put your feet up. And
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then the living room, which includes a baby grand piano, we really blew it out. The art in this space started everything. It's a beautiful emerald green with like some coral.
Mm-hmm.
We did some custom T-bow window treatments in that beautiful kind of emerald green, and then some coral pillows with. But the fun thing about this room is they have a lot of original art and in all different sizes. So we're creating a gallery on the long wall where the piano is, and having them all just reframed and mixing them all together. They're all very colorful, and every single piece that they have is meaningful.
Yes.
So I'm very excited to put that gallery together.
They were really psyched because we hate to put together a room that's 100% new. It's just, even if it's beautiful and everything is to scale and the room is divine, just to have something that's just meaningful, that has history, that's older, that's
you don't feel like you're in a furniture showroom. You feel like you're in your home.
Exactly.
So I love that,
as it should be.
And then the last room we did was the dining room. And the client loves, soft blues. So we did a blue on the wall. It's Sherwin-Williams Tradewind. I love that color. And then we do love to do wallpaper in a ceiling. So we did another T-bow fretwork design and a beautiful Vanguard in their quick ship program dining set. And then a really beautiful Trowbridge Gallery has some really unique art. This is a triptych of a peacock, but
So
it's
beautiful.
black and white. And then we were able to, the client has a beautiful black and white Penley that we were able to use in here because we're doing some black and white. So
it really is going to be. This one we will photograph. I'm thinking these Atlanta magazines, get ready. We will be submitting.
Yeah.
Let's see. We will be submitting these to you at the end of 2023.
It's fun to show color again.
Yes.
And I think if we were to approach a magazine editor with a very neutral, all neutral room, gray walls, white they don't want that anymore. Nobody
Mm-mm.
wants that. So to be able to have that color infused and on the walls, even before, there wasn't color on the walls before. So now I'm excited. I'm excited about that.
Yes. Yeah. And we have to say that these clients were so amazing. And we say this all the time, but they really let us do our best work. They gave us a lot of breath. They told us what they wanted, how they live, what their favorite colors are, how, the husband's a big guy. He wanted deep sofas. He doesn't want to be in little petite furniture. They've got young kids. Everything has to be very, performance friendly. And, once we kind of get those marching orders, just let us go. And it was amazing.
And then that's always becomes the best project because we don't feel like, okay, we don't like stripes. We don't want this. And then all of a sudden you feel paralyzed because they don't like that or they don't want that. So they gave us the freedom, and that's
probably my favorite thing is they really appreciate original art, and they did have the budget for some beautiful pieces. So we leaned on Shane Gallery, Gregor B Gallery, DK Gallery, L&M Framing, and Marietta to really bring all of that original art in, because talk about making a space special. To me, that is the end all, is when you've got original art in a room and nobody can copy it. So it was really great. So we have a whole nother one we'll have to save for next time.
Are we done?
Yeah, because we're almost out of time.
All right.
So, but hopefully that's a little glimpse into our life.
Yeah.
I start to get a little bit of heart palpitations when we do episodes like this, because I'm like, okay, yeah, we did that. Yeah, okay, we're doing that. Okay, yeah.
But it's fun to share what we're really talking about, because projects come to you and they're all different. They're just all different.
Yeah. And some of them are really outside of our comfort zone. I mean, when we really looked at that theater for the first time, but I think what I would say is, once you do a project that scares the pants off you, then your confidence builds to where you're like, okay, well, I can figure this out. Like, it's going to be challenging, but we did it once. We'll do it again. And now we've done it so many times.
You take it in steps.
Yeah. We still get nervous and scared. Like, how do you do a vet clinic? Or how do you do a dog park? Or, but we've done them. So
you research and you figured out.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Collaborate with others. That is the key.
Mm-hmm. So. Okay, the funny quote. I mean, I'm sure so many of you can relate to this.
Okay.
If my email inbox were a person, it would be the neediest and attention-seeking person I've ever met.
Amen.
When I see that number, that I've got a lot of emails, it's like, okay, here I go again. I have to deal with this person.
Well, you're either the kind of person who, like my husband has in all, he's got X number of email accounts, and there's got to be over 5, 6, 8, 10,000 in each one.
No.
He lets them ride if they're like, I delete, unsubscribe like a mad person. Yeah. If he's not, he just lets it stay there.
No.
I would blow my brains out. Not happening. Okay. Serious quote. The myth is that there isn't enough time. There is plenty of time. There isn't enough focus with the time you have. You win by directing your attention towards better things.
That is so true.
Right?
It really is true. There's time.
Focus.
There's time.
There's time. There's always time. But when I think about, like, this weekend, I'm reading Demon Copperhead, the book. It's probably one of the best books I've ever read. And I literally read for no less than 10 hours. But I wanted that time for myself, And if I can make time to do all that we're doing and still read a book on the weekend for 10 hours, then,
the weekend is, you got to recharge. You got to recharge.
Yeah.
Especially with all that we have going on, we've got to recharge. So we are heading out tomorrow morning to Kiowa Island,
South Carolina.
Our whole team, to do a photo shoot for the house that we worked on before COVID and didn't have a chance to photograph. So we'll be photographing. It's a very large house. We'll be prepping for 2 days and shooting for 2 days.
We'll do a whole podcast on it. Don't worry. We want to tell you all about how we pulled it off, because it's going to take 4 of us 4 days.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's first thing in the morning.
Yeah. So
no rest for the weary.
mhm.
All right. Well, thank you, High Point Market, for supporting us and for sponsoring this episode. And everybody, go register for the fall and sign up for our Insiders Tour if you're new. And also, please reach out to us anytime. We are, as you know, good on our email. So you can email us at podcast@kandrak-cole.com. Anything you want, things you like about the show, things you don't like, things you want to hear.
And if you haven't watched us on YouTube, do it, because I think it's a completely different experience.
It is.
Because especially in our world of imagery and beauty, you can't, when you can see it on the screen, what we're talking about, I think it's
not us, just what we're showing you.
What we're showing. Thank you, Russ, for doing such a great job with that. But when we're talking about a room, it just elevates your experience because you can see what we're talking about. So subscribe to YouTube. We'd like to get that channel going. We appreciate you guys listening and watching.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Have a great week, and thank you for listening.
Thanks.
Bye.
Join Joanne and Kelly for a new episode every other Friday as they continue to explore the nuances of the interior design business with the goal of informing, inspiring, and entertaining their listeners. See their work at kandrak-cole.com and engage with them on Facebook and Instagram at Kandrak Cole.